Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden Night.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the New York Giants and their inner-city rivals, the New York Jets. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
An extreme
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the New York Giants and their inner-city rivals, the New York Jets. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
An extremely durable player, had 210 consecutive starts in the NFL before missing one in 2017. And when you have to deal with him in the playoffs and a Super Bowl's on the line, Eli Manning's at the top of his game.
On first down, Manning into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Manning. Nunez got it, complete. And they're able to get get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw, it's Manning. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that 1st round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a 1st-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had 1st-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Damon Harrison continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And the kick by Butker is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays and only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll drop the throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
A first down carry for Barkley. Oh, good move. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. And a look now at how the Jets line up defensively.
Leonard Williams was one of the most fun players for me to watch in college football. And when he came out in the NFL draft, I kept telling people, here's why I think he's going to be good. Excellent movement skills, light on his feet, also has the ability to bull rush people inside. But I loved his hands, the ability to get offensive blockers' hands off of him and then get his hands on opposing ball carriers.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fella, we got 3. Let's go. Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. That is first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere.
Watching that, Barney!
Back to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
I always love the opening game of the season, and for the players, always nice to get those firsts out of the way, isn't it? How about here? The first sack of the season. Not just in the first game, but in the opening drive. That's the way to get things kicked off.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Manning now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Hogan. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 11 more on that one and another first down. Manning now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. On the counter, it's Corral. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On play action, now Manning. And his throw is incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Manning. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long. Working from the gun, Manning. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. The tackle by Tremaine Johnson.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll look to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down, Manning. And right side caught, Hogan. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
The Jets on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where the low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did.
Throwing on first down is Manning. Called in by Anderson left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets his football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Manning now on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away, but that brings up fourth.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
Back to throw here. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Leonard Williams in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Morris Claiborne, the former #1 pick of the Cowboys there defensively.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And we shift our focus to Isaiah Crowell. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Manning going to throw, and he's got a moonwalk. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And who's got it? The Giants.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A handoff to Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep down the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Giants on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham from 3 yards out. And the Giants add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jets. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On 1st down, Manning, and his throw is going to be incomplete. The former Bill, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Here's Manning to throw. Anunu's got it, complete. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st. On 1st and 10, Manning. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Butker able to put this one through. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! 4 down, check! 4 down!
They begin with a run by Barkley. What a spin. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes up. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Odell Beckham Jr. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham, 79 yards. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run it again with Crowell. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On first down, Manning. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now a handoff to Crowell. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you just don't.
And he's going to go down, sacked right around the 17. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively, pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
On 3rd and long, it's Manning. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And the kick by Butker is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So his 3rd field goal of the ballgame brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. A beautiful spin and room to run. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. 45 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out now come the Jets. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come late.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And it's a terrific return here, as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. And he may want to track down that football, because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Manning now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Crowell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Hey, set. Blue 80. Set.
Again, it's Crowell. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Manning going to try and throw on third down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defense will give him.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be...
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On second down, here's Crowell. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9. From the gun, it's Manning. Losing 9 yards there. And it also brings up 4th. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Manning, gotta have this one. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
And yes, they want
penalty
the
is
points, so
declined.
they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I
would
don't
do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. They find some open field here. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20.
And, partner, not only is he kicking himself right now, he's going to petition the league for 99-yard fields. That's almost not fair to get it that far and not get into the end zone. Nevertheless, a great return.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this. And all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Well, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side. Trying to punch it in, Stewart. And he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. Jonathan Stewart, his first touchdown in a Giant uniform. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Janikowski adds the extra point. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Quincy Enunwa, 66 yards. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Here's a give to Barkley. And now running right through it. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Darren Lee there to get him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's got this down to the 35. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now Saquon Barkley. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Leopard! Leopard!
On second down, here's Barkley. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Over!
Gallman will run it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Check 26, check 26.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
On second down, they run with Stewart. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. This is Gallman. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Out to kick is Janikowski. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Back to the air on second down. It's Manning. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating. and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And then you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Manning will try again on second down. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Manning. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 39. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Manning now on 1st down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was looking for a Nunwa there, and it's 2nd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone, as time has run out on this ball game. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game.